Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you guys know, the Overwatch 2 beta is right around the corner, but I may have been hiding one important secret from all of you. Well, you see, over the past couple of weeks, I've actually been given the amazing opportunity by Blizzard to test out some of the new content in the alpha, and today I'll be sharing my thoughts on Overwatch 2 and my list of the top 5 things in the new PvP update. Please bear in mind that any footage shown here is strictly from the alpha test, which may be different from the beta or public release version. Without further ado, let's get started. In my opinion, the most significant change in the new PvP update is the fact that 2CP has now finally been removed and is now replaced by the brand new push mode. If you guys aren't familiar, the basic premise of push is that two opposing teams fight to control a single shared objective, being a large robot starting in the middle of the map. I don't know if our new friend has a name yet, but if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments below. Having played numerous games of push over the past few weeks, I've got to say that this new mode feels fresh, fast-paced, and much better balanced compared to 2CP. For example, many of the previous 2CP maps have been very frustrating to play due to how little teamwork it took to defend compared to attack. It often felt like the mode punished mistakes much more heavily compared to rewarding good plays, especially for the attacking team. In contrast, push is essentially a tug of war, and any team can recapture the robot depending on how team fights are played out, so there's much less of an imbalance based on which team has control of the objective. More importantly, push just feels fun to play thanks to the constant action and team fights without the pain associated with 2CP. Even when my team was on the back foot, it felt like we had ample opportunities to come back, retake fights, and it never felt like the game was truly unwinnable. As many of you know, quick play and ranked modes will now be 5v5 in Overwatch 2, with team compositions consisting of 1 tank, 2 DPS, and 2 support heroes. The removal of 1 tank hero broadly means that the tank role has pretty much been reworked, especially in line with the Orisa and Doomfist reworks. I think that tanks individually have more impact than ever before, and it's interesting because the previous main tank and off tank roles have pretty much merged together. I'm curious to see how this will play out in a competitive environment and what team comps work best, especially since the tank heroes have such different kits. In my short time playing the alpha, it was difficult to gauge exactly what team comps were better since it wasn't exactly organized play. However, some feedback related to the dev team concerned the imbalance between how different tanks would play in a 5v5 setting. For example, traditional barrier tanks such as Reinhardt would feel weaker because they couldn't close the distance or shoot back, and they couldn't really do much when flankers were everywhere. Having said that, I personally think that the new 5v5 change has made gameplay less chaotic in general, and teamfights are much faster paced and more fluid. With one less player on both teams, individual contribution definitely has more impact and weight to the overall success of the team. There's also more space to spread out, and teamfights are easier to understand with less visual and audio clutter happening. Although further fine-tuning and balance changes are required, I think 5v5 is a good direction for the game overall. SOJOURN has been teased for what seems like an eternity over the past 2 years, and undoubtedly expectations are high for our new hero. I finally got a chance to try her out in the alpha, and I think she lives up to the hype and is another worthy addition to the Overwatch cast. To summarize her abilities, SOJOURN is a DPS hero who uses a railgun to shoot rapid projectiles that basically charge up energy. Her secondary fire consumes this stored energy to release a high damage burst. She also has a snare that slows and damages anybody caught within it, as well as a power slide that allows her to zip across the ground into a high jump. Last but not least, her ultimate, Overclock, automatically charges her railgun energy for a short duration, and her shots pierce enemies. SOJOURN is definitely one of those characters where good aim, precision, and timing pays off and is important to make the most out of her kit. Admittedly, I haven't played DPS in a while and my aim isn't the best. It was definitely a challenge getting used to her kit, but I still had a blast when I had the chance to play her. My favorite aspect of SOJOURN's design is the railgun and just how seamlessly it integrates with the rest of her kit. It feels light but satisfying to use, and I think the devs did a great job in making it feel like an actual energy weapon. I also really enjoy her mobility because it's something new that we haven't really seen before in Overwatch, and her power slide kind of reminds me of the movement mechanics in Apex Legends combined with Baptiste's jump. It was insanely fun to just slide around the new maps and reposition during teamfights. In Overwatch 2, we are getting 4 brand new maps, and as usual, the Overwatch team doesn't disappoint. You can tell that the devs really did their research, and each map is brimming with color, details, and flair characteristic of that specific location. New Queen Street, set in Toronto, is a snowy city decorated with pops of color in its maple trees, grand buildings, and cute little stores located along the main road. The diversity represented in the different displays and signs really highlights Toronto as a picturesque cultural hub and adds a very warm atmosphere to an otherwise icy place. In contrast, Colosseo is an ancient city buzzing with a rich feeling of history but still retains modern style with its streetlights, cafes, and piazzas scattered across the map. The map is just breathtaking and the backdrop of the Italian rooftops and glow of the afternoon sun takes it to the next level. Circuit Royale set in Monte Carlo is a brand new escort map that features a gilded promenade and marble archways that lead you into a majestic hotel. It feels grand and luxurious, and the payload route is very unique in that you have to initially push it up the map, which has numerous bends and turns. Finally, we have Midtown in New York, which is a bustling city full of skyscrapers, shops, and traffic, as well as the iconic Grand Central Station. The map feels vibrant and captures the busy heart of Manhattan perfectly. Overall, I adore the new maps and I think that they're very different from one another in terms of atmosphere, vibe, as well as gameplay. In my opinion, map design has always been a strong suit of Overwatch compared to other FPS games, and it's no exception here. I hope that with the release of Overwatch 2, we will continue to see exciting new map releases and locations set in the Overwatch universe. However, that's not all. Previous Overwatch maps have also been given a facelift in the form of daytime and nighttime modes that breathe life back into environments that we've already played hundreds of times. The simple change of the lighting completely shifts the mood and settings on some of these maps and makes them feel almost brand new to play again. Another feature I really like about Overwatch 2 is the upgrade to the sound system, which has been revamped to really immerse the player in the game. Back during BlizzCon 2021, the devs talked about implementing a new audio system called the Weapon 2 Sound Pass, which aims to make every weapon in the game sound and feel realistic. Essentially, what this means is that guns feel more tactile to use and sound different depending on the environment that the bullets travel in. Environmental reverb has also been improved so that you can better hear the environments that enemies are shooting in and really enhances the overall gameplay experience. In practice, I definitely noticed the audio changes in game and thought it was very impressive. Here, I'm playing Ana, and if you listen closely to the gunshots, you can hear how her gun has more weight and just feels very satisfying to use. Similarly with SOJOURN, you can hear how zippy her primary fire is as she rails her enemies. I'm sorry, I had to make a railgun joke. Anyway, I think that the devs did a really good job on upgrading the audio in the game, and honestly, it was a bit hard for me to go back to playing regular Overwatch having experienced the new sound system in the alpha. So guys, those are my top 5 favorite changes coming in Overwatch 2. There are a lot of other features that I haven't talked about here, like the new ping system and hero reworks, but I will be covering those in future videos. I want to thank the Overwatch team again for giving me the chance to participate in the alpha test. I think that the content drought that the community has been frustrated with over the past few years is finally over, and we are moving on to a newer and better chapter. I can't wait to see everything that has been planned by the team, and I hope you guys are just as excited as I am. Having said that, let me know what you think. What change are you most looking forward to, and what else are you hoping to see in Overwatch 2? Let me know in the comments below. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bisous!